News at 9. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu pledges commitment to welfare of workers in Lagos State. Federal government charges stakeholders to prioritize safety standards in gas industry. On the foreign scene, police disperses labor protesters in Turkey. And in sports, Super Eagles coach Finidi George seeks public support for 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged his administration's commitment to the welfare of workers in Lagos State. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this when he joined the organized labor unions for a parade at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikan, in commemoration of 2024 Workers' Day celebration with the theme, People First. The governor noted that this year's theme resonates deeply with his administration's philosophy, which is underpinned by a firm belief in prioritizing the welfare of residents through various measures, policies, and initiatives.
Our commitment to creating a Lagos of our dream, a future Lagos that will not be reversed, a future that will ensure that there is hope for the hopeless and there's a sense of urgency for each and every one of us. Our dedication is to put people first, to extend beyond just mere words and rhetoric. We stand by our labor union and the various organizations and advocating workers' rights and welfare. I would say that from day one, I've been a welfarist myself, and I stand with my people. I share in their pain. I understand their challenges, and I want to say to you that you are the reason that we're here, and you are the reason for us to wake up every day, knowing fully well that you are with us and you are behind us.
Earlier, the State Commissioner for Establishments and Training, Afolabi Ayotayo, extended appreciation to the state government for the commitment and steadfastness exhibited by public servants in advancing the interests of the state.
On this special and auspicious occasion, I wish to take a moment to express the profound appreciation of the state government for the commitment and steadfastness exhibited by the public servants in advancing the interests of our dear state. I equally extend tribute to all workers across Nigeria, as well as our esteemed pensioners and veterans for their resilience and devotion.
The head of service, Bodiaguru, acknowledged the role of workers in the state, describing them as the engine room of government.
The theme of today's event, People First, is a reminder of our role as public servants to complement the efforts of the government of the day in translating policies and programs to tangible services and ensuring that such services are delivered impartially to the good citizens of the state.
In an address delivered by the chairperson, Nigeria Labour Congress, Lagos State Council, Fumi Sesi, noted that the celebration is a time for sober reflection, especially with the current economic situation in the country. Sesi, on behalf of the organized labor, listed issues to be addressed by the government to include approval of new minimum wage for workers and not increments, reinvigoration of industrial sector in Lagos, enforcement of safety law in workplace, provision of independent power projects for residents, provision of CNG and secure buses to connect more towns and villages, to incorporate state-owned media houses, Lagos Television, Radio Lagos Eco FM, Lagos Traffic Radio into the Oracle salary payment system, disparity of salaries and wages of state higher institution workers, among others.
We implore the Lagos State government to work in collaboration with labor unions, particularly the NLC, Lagos State Council, to enforce and ensure safety laws and other regulations in the workplaces are strictly adhered to. We are tired of our members working in the factories and having their hands chopped off.
A correspondent Adiola Kindele reports that the event was attended by different labor unions, including the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Trade Union Congress, TUC, National Union of Air Transport Employees, Nigeria Union of Railway Workers, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, Union of Journalists, among others. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has warned residents of the state against panic buying of the premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. Governor Sanwo-Olu said he has received assurances from the authorities that there are enough fuel at tank stations, while the distribution of the product will be intensified to ease the current fuel scarcity across the states.
I have confirmed from the leadership of NNPC and all of them that are in the downstream sector, there is no fear at all. It's only the logistics of getting the fuel from their various tank farm and depot to the fuel stations that has created this little bottleneck. And they've assured me that within the next couple of days, all those queues will completely disappear. So I want to tell you, please, don't do panic buying. Don't go and buy fuel that you don't require right now. Let us just wait, and for the next couple of days, it will clear.
It will be recalled that for a couple of days now, long queues have returned to filling stations across the metropolis due to scarcity of petrol, with its attendant economic effects on motorists and commuters in the states. Lagos State Chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, Cornelius Ojelabi, has appreciated Nigerian workers, especially Lagos State workers, for their forthrightness, dedication, and resilience, facilitating workers on the commemoration of the 2024 Workers' Day. Ojelabi said, since no administration succeeds without a happy and productive workforce, all the successes recorded so far in the state were due to the efforts of the workers, who he commended for being very dedicated and responsible. Ojelabi praised the Nigerian workers for their diligence and commitment to duty, but called for more resilience and patience so as to take the state to its El Dorado and dreams of its founding fathers with relative ease. He said that the APC-led federal government, headed by President Bola Tinubu, had in the last few months showed commitment to the welfare of workers, the latest being the newly inaugurated credit grants for workers. Ojelabi commended the workers for their diligence, dedication, and commitment to duty, saying the party would never look down on workers in the states. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has charged stakeholders in the gas industry to prioritize standards and safety measures, as government won't allow the lives of its citizens to be endangered. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperipe Ekpo, made this known during his visit to access the gas explosion at Itaoshi, Abeokuta, Ogun State, and how to forestall a recurrence. Ekpo noted that the country is transiting to use compressed natural gas as an alternative fuel, said Nigeria's gas resources are up to 208 trillion cubic feet to drive the economy. He said the federal government is also trying all it can to reduce the transportation of gas by road due to its volatility. The federal government has commenced payment of compensation to affected property owners on the right-of-way for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. The payment, which is for the first phase, is to the tune of 2.875 billion naira for those affected and enumerated on the 3-kilometer stretch of demolition carried out so far. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, who flagged off the payment, also unveiled a new design of routes stretching 700 kilometers for the Coastal Highway project. Umahi reiterated that the redesigns of alignments will continue to be done with minimal economic losses in line with the directive of President Bola Tinubu. He reassured that the Coastal Highway project is one of the hard decisions of the President Bola Tinubu administration, but which will bring about economic revolution for the country.
Since we came on Thursday, we have been going through the routes every day from running to sometimes 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And we've taken hard decisions. In some cases, we have followed the gazetted routes. In other cases, we have realigned to the coastal line majorly. And coastal line from the shore 250 meters by the Supreme Court judgment belongs to the federal government.
Speaking earlier, Federal Controller Works in Lagos and Chairman of the Compensation Committee, Olukorede Kesha, assured that payments would continue at the Secretariat of the committee, assuring that everyone captured would benefit.
Apart from doing what is legally allowed, that we're going to add human face, show clemency on some of the stakeholders. And that's what we're here to do today. A promised compensation will be paid, adequate compensation. So some people doubted whether the federal government meant business, but it is to show that federal government actually meant or means what we say.
Speaking on behalf of the compensated property owners, Mr. Bolaji Ariyo, who is considered to be worst affected by the demolition, said it was not easy losing an investment, but is consoled by the fact that it will be a project that will be beneficial to the majority of Nigerians. The event attracted numerous stakeholders, including representatives of traditional rulers, property owners, and civil society organizations. Now to foreign news. Police in Istanbul have used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse protesters who tried to break through a barricade to reach the city's Taksim Square in defiance of a ban on May Day rallies. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerikaya said 210 people were arrested and detained after failure to heed to warnings. Meanwhile, Secretary General of the Confederation of Revolutionary Trade Unions of Turkey, Azu Sekezohu, said Taksim is an important symbol as Taksim means labor. More than 40,000 police were deployed across the city, blocking even small side streets with mental barriers after President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on the eve of May Day that the annual protests would not be allowed to take place in the square. In 2023, Turkey's top constitutional court ruled that the closure of Taksim Square for protests is a violation of citizens' rights as the square is a rallying ground for May Day celebrations. Now sports. The newly appointed Super Eagles head coach, Finidi George, says 2026 FIFA World Cup is a task that requires all hands on the deck. Finidi pledged in a brief chat to give his best shot and ensure that Nigeria qualified the next World Cup. The outgoing coach of Enyimba International, Obaba, who expressed his excitement about his appointment as Super Eagles head coach, seek the support of NFF and Nigerians to achieve positive results. Nigeria is currently third in the Group C with 2 points from 2 matches. Finidi will lead the Super Eagles to face Bafana Bafana of South Africa in Uyo on June 3, 2024, and the Squares of Benin Republic in Abidjan on 10th of June 2024. And that's our news. But just before we go, spill thrills but kills. Please do not drive beyond specified speed limits. You can follow us on like all our various social media platforms. X, Traffic Radio 961. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration supplied 86,000 dual furniture sets to 775 public schools? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged his administration's commitment to the welfare of workers in Lagos State. The federal government has charged stakeholders in the gas industry to prioritize standards and safety measures as government will not allow the lives of its citizens to be endangered. We also told you that police in Istanbul used tear gas and rubber bullets to disperse protesters who tried to break through a barricade to reach the city's Taksim Square in defiance of a ban on May Day rallies. And in sports, the newly appointed Super Eagles head coach, Finidi George, has said 2026 FIFA World Cup is a task that requires all hands on deck. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Sadiq Yusuf. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.